Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button.
My name is Clara Towson and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Summers and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect. Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
Hello.
Hello, Fergus.
How are we doing? Oh, my camera's really distorted again. Why does it keep doing this?
Oh.
Anyway. We are here to look at Taylor Fritz versus Joao Fonseca, which on paper is kind of a little bit of a blockbuster clash. Fritz obviously defending champion here 2 times or 3 times. Three times in a row, yeah. 3 times in a row.
Three-time champion. I don't know if it's 3 in a row.
He's definitely the last 2 years I know he has. Maybe it's not 3 in a row, but
he's a 3-time champion here, though.
Absolutely. I always thought, which is a bit inconvenient, always having to defend a title week before a slam. Is that kind of frustrating? But you know. How do you see this one panning out? As Fritz obviously gets the first hold of the match.
Mm-hmm. He gets the first hold fairly easily. Feel like we're going to be watching a lot of big forehands in this one. Be a lot of high-powered shots in this. I feel like Fritz has got an advantage, so I think if Fonseca is able to extend rallies, it will give him a better chance, but I think Fritz has too many weapons and will take this one in 2 sets.
I agree. I feel as though Fonseca's still trying to find the game on this surface. Obviously got his first win on the surface against Bergs. But yeah, this is for me, this is still Taylor Fritz's to lose. We could see a purple patch here from Fonseca, which is like just an outrageous level that he just, you know, hits forehand after forehand and nails them. But you know, I'm still not convinced that when behind in a rally that Fonseca can do anything but hit his way out, which is, you know, something that he needs to develop.
It's something that eventually he just goes for broke on some of his shots, and he's going to get a massive shot, and it's either going to go in or it's going to be out by quite a ways.
Yeah.
Which we saw a little bit in the match against Burge. Some of the wild, some of the very good, especially in that second set. So I think his game will maybe doesn't translate to this surface as naturally.
No.
other surfaces, but I think he'll eventually be a dangerous player here. And Taylor Fritz gets the first break here.
Absolutely, he does. Yeah, we just again exactly what I was talking about. I'm hitting his way out, and he missed 3 in a row there, and then Fritz got the break, and it's already 2-love to the American. I know he obviously loves the conditions here, and he's I always thought though that these conditions were the least like Wimbledon conditions you can get on grass. Like out of all the tournaments, WTA and ATP, this tournament was the least like Wimbledon in terms of conditions. A little bit for me, it's like Madrid and the clay compared to like Rome, in a sense. But that's just my opinion.
I think I agree with it. I mean, I don't know, uniquely enough, maybe the German courts are a better comparison.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
yeah, I think it's tough, but yeah, just our producer saying this could be a quick one. I actually think there's probably a chance it is going to be a quick one, but yeah, I mean, hopefully Fonseca brings out some sort of, attack, maybe puts Fritz on the back foot. You are probably a couple of points ahead of me, because unfortunately the BBC likes to produce really slow streams in terms of other scoring sites.
Where are you at right now?
I'm currently at 15 all.
Okay. We just finished the next point.
You just finished the next point? Okay, right. Yeah.
I'll pause here for a few seconds.
Cool. Yeah, I've just seen a let first serve, so give me like 15 seconds. Yeah, okay, well, Fritz hits an ace at the tee, so there we go.
Let me know when he starts bouncing the ball.
Okay.
Okay. Wait.
Have to try, bouncing the ball now. Have to try and not look at the live ticker, because that's slightly ahead, but Fritz misses that drive volley. Maybe could have just didn't have to take it out the air, I didn't think, but I think he'd already committed forwards, so felt as though he had to take the drive volley, but pulled us that one wide. First extended rally of sorts. Which Fonseca comes out on top. So we're going to have a break point for Fonseca to break straight back.
We'll see if he can do something with this. Last forehand from Taylor looked a little bit unnatural.
Yeah, just pushing him back as far as possible. Ace out wide will do nicely for Fritz. That's why he's super hard to break on this surface.
That serve is going to be a really big weapon for him today.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's another unreturnable. And suddenly from breakpoint, we now have game point for Fritz. It just goes as simple as that.
I went for another ace out wide.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was thinking close out the game with another ace out wide, but defensive skills not paying off there for Fonseca, and Fritz holds for 3-love pretty comfortably in the end after saving that break point.
I think this serve from the ad side going out wide is going to be a really big key for him today. If he can hit that a lot and just move Fonseca off of the court.
Yeah.
Have a lot of fantastic and one opportunities to finish some points really quickly.
Yeah, I think especially not just here. I think as well as at Wimbledon, that ace out wide on the outside is one of his preferred serves, and made the quarters of Wimbledon last year, lost to Musetti. Maybe a little disappointed he didn't make the semis there. He kind of, he had that match, like not on his racket in a sense, but he was 100% in that match, and then faded away in that fifth set. But
Definitely.
yeah, but Fritz is obviously the title in Stuttgart is obviously an excellent start to the grass season. Didn't quite work out for him at Queens. Lost first round to Mute in a kind of a strange match. Mute just pulling out all the tricks and kind of disorientating Fritz in a sense. But back now in Eastourne, where he's obviously had so much success, so it's more. I think he's one of the only guys that plays all 3 weeks leading up to Wimbledon. I think.
I'm trying to. Yes.
I mean, you play, you like the surface, you're going to play as many weeks as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to think of other guys that play all 3 weeks.
I don't know if there were. From like the top players, anyway.
Yeah. Like, I'm talking like top 15. Does Shelton play first week? I'm trying to think. No, Shelton didn't play Stuttgart.
I don't think he did.
No, Shelton didn't play Stuttgart. No, I don't. I think Fritz might be the only member of the top 10 that plays all 3 weeks. I think I could be wrong though. If our producer could fact check that, that'd be nice. But I was just gonna say, I don't know if I like Fritz is like obviously like known for the headband, right? Like you can see the headband's like a very standout part of his attire, but I'm not a headband fan. I don't think it suits him. I prefer the hat.
Shelton did play all 3 weeks.
Did he play Stuttgart?
Semifinals. Zverev.
Oh, of course he did.
Then,
yeah, of course he did.
Yeah, now a couple of. Well, last week was round 1, except today is technically a round 2.
2 exit, yeah, but he had a bye around 1.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was. Yeah, Tien getting the better of Shelton. Yeah, he was in Mallorca last year. Didn't have a good time. I think he won 1 match in Mallorca last year before them losing to Job. Yeah, it's funny how he just in the last 2 years he hasn't, but leading up to Wimbledon, had these good results on the grass, and then gets to Wimbledon, he made the 4th round. Like, he's it's just, but that's a testament to his Grand Slam results, right? He's had amazing Grand Slam results for, his, what is it? He has 2 ATP titles, Houston and Tokyo.
Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah. Maybe I'm forgetting one. Those are the 2 that come to mind, though.
He didn't get one. He only got Houston last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think. Yeah, I think that's right. So it's his Grand Slam results are a lot better than his normal tour results, which is, I don't know if that's the way you want it to be, but I think it probably is the way you want it to be, right?
In a way, I suppose. More points, more money. Like it works out, I think, but
I think but it comes down to like, would you rather make like quarterfinals of a slam or win at 250? Like, that's like the debate you're having with yourself, yeah. Right? And I think I'd rather make the quarters of a slam, to be honest. Knowing that.
I agree with you.
You don't, or you do?
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather make the final of a slam or win a Masters? Now that's a question.
That is a question. I guess it kind of comes down to which have you done one or the other already?
Yeah.
So that's player dependent. I suppose. Like, for someone like, I mean, Alexander Zverev would probably have a pretty clear answer on that right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, for, I mean, someone like, I mean, we've been talking about Ben Shelton. He's made the semifinals of slams a couple of times, but
Yep.
doesn't have a 1,000 title. Like,
No.
maybe you would.
Yeah.
Like, for the 1,000 title. So, I don't
Fritz holds comfortably for 4-1. Yeah, it's pretty routine stuff for Taylor right now, just trying to work his way through the gears. Fonseca not posing too many issues at this moment. Any changes you want to make before, this set wraps up?
Yeah, I think he needs to step out, take another half step outside on the when he's returning a little bit, just to cover that outside a little bit. He's just getting into such a bad position defensively so early on in return games. I think that could change, and then part of this is he just needs to spend a little bit of time getting used to this pace that Taylor Fritz is bringing, which is a step up from anything he's seen on grass lately.
Yeah. I mean, lost to Kaboli and Haller, and it's not like Kaboli is a grass court fiend. So, and then Bergs is a great grass court player, and actually Fonseca did well to come through that one, but, Bergs isn't, a top, like, grass player that there are guys ranked 20 that are struggling to, compete with. So, yeah, this is a big step up from anything that Fonseca's played on the surface before, but that ace out wide it's becoming a factor. Switching from this surface to switching from clay to this surface is obviously such a big jump, but the players do it every year. I wonder if Fonseca's down to play any of the altitude clay events after the grass, because you'd think as though he'd want to, but maybe going towards the US Open, he might want to just stick to the hard courts, but yeah.
It doesn't look like he signed up for anything immediately after Wimbledon yet.
No. Is he supposed to be in Washington, D.C.? That's a very quick service game from Joao Fonseca for 4-2. Couple Brazilian fans in the crowd. We've only been going for 17 minutes, and we're currently sitting at 4-2. Just a testament
so far.
Just a testament to how quickly these guys are serving. Fonseca just, didn't get off to a good start. Was broken first up. There's obviously the whole debate about whether you serve or return first. I think it depends. I think it's really dependent on day, conditions, surface. Grass, you surely would always serve first, right? If you can back yourself, serve first, get that love hold in early. Not saying that that's how I do it, because my serve isn't big enough for love hold for anyone, but yeah. But then like clay, you'd return first. Like, I just feel like it's like they say they always do the same thing every single time, but I feel like it's so dependent on surface, and that
it's surface dependent, opponent dependent.
Yeah.
Also, just conditions, time of day.
Yeah.
If you're a big server on like a faster hard court, maybe you serve first during the day, but at night maybe you want to give yourself a minute to get into the match.
That's nice from Fonseca, that forehand.
That is.
Did Fritz hit that backhand volley because it came back at him so fast? Oh, nearly. I thought it was actually a backhand volley off the baseline because he just absolutely crushed it.
That shot from Fritz wasn't really much of anything, honestly. Just to get the ball back over the net.
Yeah. but it's ace down the tee. Fonseca moved out wide to try and cover it, but Fritz read it, went straight up the tee, sitting at 30 all. No long points. Long points are not on the cards here. Ace out wide on the juice side. And Fritz has a point for 5-2 in this first set after, I think, probably just 19 minutes. Super, super quick. But that's what you get. Like, you see, it's funny because if you look at a score, and that's a lovely drop shot. That's a lovely drop shot for 5-2 Fritz first set. You look at a score and it says 7-6, 6-7, 7-6 on a hard court or a clay court. You're thinking, okay, that's 3+ hours, like easy. But on a grass court, that could actually be hour and a half, like kind of like hour and 45.
Yeah, hour and a half is maybe a little bit quick, but yeah, it's not going to take a lot of time. Always amazing, like even at the Grand Slams, the best of 5 matches you see at like the French Open, like a lot of the time 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Sports on the U.S. Open, Australian Open, like it can be 4 hours, and then you see a 5-set match at Wimbledon, and it could be 2.5 hours.
Exactly. But then again, the longest ever match recorded in history was at Wimbledon.
It was.
Yeah.
Before newer tiebreaker rules.
Yeah, before then, yeah. You could, at that time, you could go on forever, right? Technically, you could.
And they did.
They did, was it 68-70? Isna Mahut.
On the third day of the match.
Yeah. But then again, like, it shows you how, like, grass isn't that physical on your body at all, really. Like, how they were still just going, just like, and it's not like obviously they were absolutely, I don't actually know what Isna's result in the tournament was after.
He lost in the next round, straight sets in about 70 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to happen, right? That's going to happen. Yeah. Who did he lose to?
I don't remember who he faced in the next match, but he had to go on court literally the next day.
Well, I don't even think, it must have been the same day, surely.
I think they had to go another day because they played like 4 hours, 3 hours on that final day. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
Like screwed up the entire schedule of the tournament there.
Yeah, they single-handedly were just, annoying the scheduling guys. They were like, what are we going to do? These guys keep, like, Core 18, like, actually couldn't have anyone play on it for 2.5 days.
I mean, there were other matches that did happen on the court. They didn't make them play 10 hours in a row, but.
No, yeah. Oof. Sitting at 30 love, Fonseca. Just serving to stay in this first set. Oof, tries to counter punch, but yeah. It's not very windy in Eastbourne today, which is different because, usually it's like so windy, seagulls and all sorts getting involved. But yeah, nice and.
The last couple days have been horrific with the wind. And very windy, so relatively calm today.
It's a great forehand from Fonseca. And Fonseca does hold for 5-3, and Fritz will have to serve it out.
It's been, 23 minutes?
I think so, something like that.
24 maybe?
24 minutes, yeah. 24 minutes we've been on court. This is super quick. I don't think there's been a juice yet. No, there has been a juice. It's been one juice on the Fritz serve.
Fonseca had one break point.
One break point. and it was saved by an ace out wide. See, that's my entire point. Like, was there any reason to go that big? Like, I just don't feel as though there was that much need to go that big off of that ball. I know obviously Fritz was on the back foot, could have taken that point away from him.
I'm not sure if Fritz would have quite gotten to that one or not, but yeah, it just puts it into the net.
Yeah, excellent grass court point from Fritz there. Pushing Fonseca into that backhand corner, forcing the backhand slice multiple times. Sitting at 30 love to Fritz. Obviously, these games are just flying by. It's 40 love now. Unreturnable serve. 3 set points for Fritz.
See if he goes out wide with the serve here.
Yeah. He does. But then misses the volley. Yeah.
It's the right idea there.
It is the right idea, yeah. I feel as though Fritz has got. I feel like 2 breaks will be enough in this match. There it is, ace down the tee. Fritz takes the first set 6-3. Pretty dominant from the Americans, 6 aces. I actually don't know first serve win percentage. I'm actually going to take a guess. It's somewhere like 85, something ridiculous like that. It's 78. Actually, Fonseca has a better first serve win percentage than Fritz does, which is kind of strange. But yeah, just the 2 break points in the set. Actually, just the 9 winners combined from both of them. Not a very high quality match. So, sorry, the 11, not 9 winners. I was reading off a different screen. Yeah, more unforced errors off of both than winners. Fonseca just the 4 winners to 11 unforced errors, and Fritz 7 to 10.
No backhand winners yet.
0 backhand winners. That's what we like to see, full of quality.
Yeah, 2 forehand winners, 7 unforced errors off of that side.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, a couple of them he's just been going a little bit bigger than is necessary in the moment.
Just feel as though that Fonseca needs this first game just to get under his belt and, feel as though he's right in this match. Yeah. See you though.
Yeah, this is tough for him. It's like this level of player, he needs a little bit of time on court to get comfortable with that first end. This is going by so quickly.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't had time to settle in, and he's already down a set now.
Absolutely. I mean, 25 minutes in, you're still thinking, okay, it's probably 3-all. Yeah, it's 3-all in the first set, right? But, you're 26 minutes in and you're serving for this. You're serving in the second set, right? So, yeah. Ooh, not quite. Fonseca managed to get it below the net before Fritz could make the volley. Makes it super tough. Nice use of the slice, though, from Fonseca. Not just on the defensive, but to pull Fritz into that forehand corner. You do see a seagull go past every so often on the screen, or on my screen anyway. Oh, Fritz be disappointed. Goes long. No extended rallies. 0.
I'm only remembering one that went to like 8 or 9 shots.
Yeah, I think it was like 8 or 9 max. Can't have been any longer than that, which is... I think it was kind of...
with these two players.
Yeah, kind of expected, I think. Again, Fritz misses the second serve return. This has not been the highest standard that I've ever seen. But is Fonseca at 40 love? I always felt as though playing last match on, especially, you know, on grass, it's kind of, you're waiting the whole day. You know, there's probably not as many fans in the stadium. Oh, that's nice. Our first backhand winner. Our first backhand winner. That's very nice. Down the line from Fonseca. Gets that easy hold that we were just talking about that he needs.
Well, the stands are quite a bit more empty than the previous match, which Dan Evans was on for that. So obviously there's going to be a little bit more support for him.
Everyone was loving that Dan Evans match because Dan Evans actually took out Tommy Paul. It's another big win for Evans. Nerlan, how are you doing?
Hi, Nerlan.
It's another big win for Evans. You know, it's 2 in 2 weeks of top 20 wins.
Shelton last week.
Tiafo last week.
Or Tiafo. Both of them 13th in the world when it happened.
Yeah. Oh, Fritz pushes that long. Strange. No, Lan, that's diabolical. You can't say that. Did you watch Onana's season? It's terrible.
I had a volley like this on Saturday when I played.
Did you miss it?
Yes, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Just pushed it way too long.
So easy to miss.
Yes.
Fonseca landed that on the corner. Right, here we go. A little bit of an opening for Fonseca here. Bring it all up 30. Pentagon intelligence. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's fair. Fritz sends him the wrong way. Fonseca managing not to really neutralize that return, but get it back into court, but there was nowhere near enough depth on it, and Fritz sends him the wrong way. Nerlan, who do you think is going to win Wimbledon? Both men and women. Yeah. He disappointed. He was in the rally, neutralized the serve. Against Fritz, you can't bail out like that. I just feel as though there's not really an option right there. I did, Nerlan, yeah. As much as it was a shame that Emma lost, well, in my opinion, I actually think it was probably for the best, just trying to give her a little bit of a break before Wimbledon. But to be fair, my joint played really well. Really, really well. So, yeah, it was a close match. Emma actually did really well to come back from 5-2, break all 3 times that joint was going to serve for it. But, yeah, in the breaker, there was a forehand that just clipped the line, and yeah, from there it was sealed. But yeah, good match actually. Really enjoyed it.
Anja's been playing well this year. It's been a little bit quiet, but she's
my joint.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think she's won like
35 in the race.
Yeah, she won like 34 matches, I think, this year or something like that. Which is a really impressive number actually. She won her first WTA title. So that's serve out wide on the juice side, gets Fritz out of trouble. Yeah. It's good. She's been playing really well. She actually has a really good game for the grass.
She does.
Just like Alex Iala. Just in case you wanted to throw that name in the stream again. Just for fun. Fritz gets out of trouble and holds for 1-1 in that second set. Sorry. Carson, I actually don't know your Wimbledon prediction. Who do you think is going to win Wimbledon? I want men's winner, dark horse, and early exit, and I want on both sides. Early exit, dark horse, and winner.
Winner. I'm going to.
Like somebody you know, like a back.
Our producer joined us very briefly and then left very briefly.
Oh, yeah. Are we talking about Lerner TN winning Wimbledon this year or what?
Oh, my word. I actually think Zach and Lerner TN might be worse than James and I about Draper. My word.
I mean, we haven't seen two American lefties going at it like that since John McEnroe and whoever the other American lefty was who was good in that era. Shelton, sorry, I've totally cut in. We're talking predictions. As Fonseca's up 30-15.
Have you had a haircut? I literally saw you yesterday. You've had a haircut.
I have, and man, there is less hair in some of the places than there used to be, and that is a humbling experience that I expect that y'all may learn about, but I hope that you don't. Fergus, that hairline, it's not for forever, man. Enjoy it while you got it.
I will enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what keeps it for.
Say again, Carson?
That's what keeps it for.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Well, so Carson, you were just saying who your Wimbledon prediction is. I'm hearing not Lerner TN, but if not him, then who?
I'm leaning Alcaraz. I think that's maybe the boring, responsible thing to do. But
I'm gonna pause you right there, and I'm gonna cut to yesterday when Zach said there is a 0% chance that anyone not named Sinner or Alcaraz wins.
No. And I also included Djokovic in that. So that is the one exception to the Sin-Karaz rule. So those are the three, and you're right, 0% it's somebody other than the three of them.
Okay.
Carson, do you concur?
0 shot.
Do you really think, Carson, do you agree there's 0% chance?
Not 0. I think it's...
That's what I said.
Yeah,
my statistics professor, if he heard me say these things from when I was in university, would absolutely lose his mind, because he taught me about how that to say 0% chance is inherently a foolish thing to say, and I'm sticking by it.
That's a very nice backhand of the line from Fritz.
I do think it's Sinner, Alcaraz, or the field. And I put Djokovic in the field.
Oh, you put Djokovic. Why am I turning American Djokovic in the field?
Question: because if we're revisiting this, Fergus said.
Pause. That's a great hold from Fonseca for 2-1 at the first sit down. Go, Zach.
So you said that Bublik had a better chance to win than Zverev.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see if Carson agrees with that take.
I disagree with that in best of 5.
No. That's just wrong. I would
Bublik, but I'm best of 5. Like, there's so much opportunity for someone to regain a level. Yeah,
but you think that Zverev's gonna run me through why you think, after what you've seen in the last 2 weeks, why Zverev holds more cards than Bublik does going into Wimbledon?
I mean, one of them won a final, the other one made a final. Like, it's close at the very least. But yeah, I mean, Bublik has been playing out of his mind the last couple of months.
Yeah. if we get Bublik Zverev round 3, you know I am here, and it's me and Zach on stream.
Oh yeah,
match.
For sure.
100%.
I would put Zverev in that matchup though. He's just so good in Grand Slams.
Can I ask you a question? How is Mensik continuing to fly so under the radar? Can somebody explain this to me?
It's not flying under the radar. Everyone just already knows how good he is after he won Miami.
He does not get the chatter and the conversation that some of these other young players do, like, at all. And I feel like that he is not being appropriately rated. I feel like he is still underrated, despite people knowing how good he is after Miami. And I think, like, if we're gonna make like a dark horse pick, feels a little silly because I don't think that anybody's gonna win other than Sinkraz, maybe Djokovic. But like,
Dark horse doesn't mean that they're gonna win.
Yeah.
Dark horse means that they're gonna like make the quarters or like the semis or something.
Like, if we were to look up and see Mensik in the quarters, I would be completely unsurprised. If he makes the semis, like, crazier things have happened. Is there somebody that y'all feel that way about other than Mensik?
For like a dark horse pick?
Yeah, sure.
Dan Evans, 100%.
Party boy Dan Evans.
I actually think Nerlan is correct that Zverev would lose to Dan Evans first round of Wimbledon. I would.
We know who the crowd would be behind there.
That's not what Nerlan said though.
I would actually bet I'm not a betting man, but I would bet £5 that Zverev Evans first round goes 5. Like, I would put money on that.
Oh,
I mean, it wouldn't. But
plainly because, like, Zverev, like, I mean, he's good on grass, but like, it's not like his best surface. But it's his weakest surface, like 100%, like no doubts about it. And Evans has actually been playing quite well.
It's been a good couple of weeks for him.
He has had a very good couple of weeks.
I just gotta say, because this just happened on the 30 all point here. Whenever a seagull flies by the camera, I get a kick out of it every time. It just there we go. They got a shot of the seagull on the scoreboard. It's a nice little bit of local flair, you know.
It is
local flair. Sitting at, I don't know where Zach is, but me and Carson are pretty synced up. So sitting at 30 all, on the Fritz serve. Fonseca, this is 2 games in a row. He's kind of had a looking. Neutralizes that first serve. Oh, just long.
So I am a touch ahead of y'all. Shout out to Google Fiber. But I once let me know when Fonseca is about to hit his first serve, because I'm gonna pause on that moment and then I'll sync up with y'all then.
Yeah. I think I actually might be pretty close to you. I paused mine because Fergus has the BBC. So
yeah.
Sorry
guys.
How is the Glastonbury stream? That's something that I wish that we did more here in the States is televise these big music festivals.
All right, it's 2-2 now.
It is 2-2. Fonseca will hit his first serve in probably around 10 seconds.
Okay, that's 10 seconds to talk about Glastonbury. Has it been a good year?
No, I don't want to talk about Glastonbury. I don't want to talk about Glastonbury right now. Like, no.
Because you're so captivated by this tennis? It's been that good?
Not specifically, just because, no.
Woo! How about that serve from Fonseca? That does give us something to talk about.
You haven't missed anything. This has been a pretty bog standard match of tennis right here.
Yeah.
Like, this has been like, there were more unforced errors than there were winners, and yeah. That serve is coming in really hot from Fonseca. That's really, it's really good.
And there's that electric forehand too.
Yeah.
Feels like he's ramped up the MPH a little bit. He's going even more aggressive here in the second set.
Yeah, I agree.
Good serve out wide.
Louise, how are you doing? Yeah, I don't see anything but a Fritz win here, to be honest.
I'll be the controversial one. I think Fonseca is going to find it.
No, you're just saying that just because you can.
I know it's I mean, look, there is truly no accountability. We can say whatever on here.
You're completely playing devil's advocate right now.
But yeah, it's great, man. Like, it's not like there's a tracker. It's not like somebody's got a scorecard for me. I could be wrong on every single thing, and like,
I think
try not to be.
The last time you weren't wrong was when Raducanu was serving for it with 3 match points yesterday, and you said, "I think Raducanu's going to win." I think that was the last time you weren't wrong.
That's the boldest prediction that I think I've made so far on this channel.
Yeah.
I did bring it up though. The last match I commentated on, where somebody other than that one had 3 match points in a row, was Sinner Alcaraz. I think at this point, anything other than a Sinner Alcaraz or some combination of the 2 plus Djokovic final feels like a letdown. Like, I'm uninterested in seeing any other 3 players in the final, because that's what I want. I feel like we've got 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 more out of Djokovic, and then I just want to see Sinner and Alcaraz play best of 5 as many times as we possibly can.
For me, I'm sorry, this year, this Wimbledon and this US is Djokovic's last chance for number 25, in my opinion. Mainly because the rest of the field is catching his level up that he is at right now. The rest of, I say the rest of the field. I say, like, there are 4 or 5 players that are like catching his level up right now in slams, because his level on actual tour is, like, non-existent. But in slams, it's completely different.
I think that's right. I think that's probably fair. He did say he wants to play in the 2028 Olympics,
which is bold. That's
still 3 years from now.
Yeah, I mean,
great serve from Fritz.
Yeah,
open up this game.
What is he? He'd have to be older than Stan Wawrinka is right now. I mean, Wawrinka still got it, but like nowhere near as much as he obviously did.
I'm sorry, you make fun of my outrageous claims. Wawrinka's still got it. That's in what way does he still have it? When's the last time he made a deep run?
I mean, I don't mean he's still got it as in he's winning slams. I mean, he's still got it as in he's playing competitive tennis.
Yeah, like he could win a challenger maybe still.
Meaning he's still got it doesn't mean that he's like finaling slams all 4 slams. I'm just saying he's still playing competitive tennis with guys that are in like top 100, top 50, and what you're saying that Djokovic at 42 is still going to be winning slams. Like
I know it's so crazy. Like probably not. But
you
I
are
don't know,
not
man.
I
don't know.
Slam at 42 years old.
What was the last? How old was Roger for his last run past the quarterfinals? Was he 39?
Yeah, 38.
38 or 39.
His last final, he was 38 at Wimbledon 2019.
And Djokovic is 38 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no way he's hanging. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
He's got bigger ambitions. He's trying to reunite the former Yugoslavia, which, maybe after Major 25 he'll focus on.
Zach, you never fail to entertain me, ever. Like, I could actually sit on stream with you for ages and just never run out of things to talk about. Ever.
I do have to say I appreciate your gameness and willingness to both indulge and make fun of. Like, because I never know which way you're gonna go with it when I say something ridiculous, and sometimes you'll hit me back with something.
I'm sat here fishing, like literally just sat here fishing.
I'm loving this show right now.
Carson, say something unreasonable. Give us an unreasonable tennis take as we're at 30 all. And Fergus, what was the phrase you used for it? It's a bog standard tennis match.
Yeah, bog standard tennis match is pretty good.
Basically, it's been fine. They've both been good so far, but it's not great.
Fonseca.
That's
a sloppy miss on a big moment, and
you can't. I said this, like you really want to, like, obviously it's so easy for me to say this sitting here, but like missing those when Fritz is serving on a grass court. You've neutralized the serve. You're in the rally. You even might be on top in the rally. Like, you've got to take advantage of that. Like, it's like so damaging of your chances of trying to break. Even if you gain a break point, like the chances that Fritz is going to ace you out wide or ace T, and that break point's gone. You've got to try and get on top in the rally, and when you are, make the most of your chances. But Fonseca takes us to juice.
Great return there from Fonseca.
Yeah, that was really good.
And we've got a
deuce. Why do you say Djokovic and not Djokovic?
What?
That's just
I don't know. I kind of go back and forth, Like, I try and match whatever the other person's saying. I just kind of try and say that back. And then sometimes whatever the other person's saying, I'll say the other one just to be annoying, And an answer, Fergus, is because we love to take Eastern European names like my own in the U.S. and just butcher them and just say them wrong and just over time slowly take the original pronunciation and ruin it.
Yeah, we learned from the best in John McEnroe over here.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Oh,
lovely
wow.
Backhand from Fonseca.
Fonseca clearly listening in on the broadcast, looking to take this thing 3 as predicted. All 3 of us.
I did see his coach had this stream up live. So, it's okay. His coach courtside has got this stream going. So
here's a question for you. Which coach on the ATP Tour currently is the most likely to be listening in on this feed during a match?
Good question.
Alex Ayala's probably, because we talk about her the most. That's a very Fritz dealt with that really well, actually, right at his feet.
Yeah.
He redirects. Obviously, Fonseca couldn't get there before the double bounce, but that's great redirection from Fritz.
Some actually pretty darn good tennis points happening here.
Actually, yeah. As soon as you join Zach, level spikes.
Wow.
Fritz holds 4-3 all.
What would we call that article of clothing? Is that a zipper Henley on Fritz? It's not. I don't know what they're doing. Kit Dr. Zach has some questions about this.
That's a quarter zip.
It's a short sleeve quarter zip?
Yeah.
Is that new? Is that an article of clothing that has existed?
I've never seen one before. This is a new one. I'm not sure if I like it, but
Kit Dr. Carson, what do we think of the Fritz shirt?
I don't know. I'm not sure what Fonseca just did there.
Nothing good.
Yeah. It wasn't.
Wondering if one of his feet just got caught in the ground a little bit.
That's actually one of the rare shots that your local club player can hit that a pro has done. Yeah.
I can do that.
I like the lavender hat Fonseca is rocking. I think On gets like a little bit of flack for the lack of inspiration of their kits. I think the color pattern is fine. I don't understand why they like get a quarter of the way through it and then just stop. Just stop.
I do like
I do think that this time of year is the hardest for kit manufacturers trying to come up with something new and creative for Wimbledon when it has to be all white. Like,
Yeah, it can be like very inspiring if you're a clothing designer, and it's like your top, your shorts, like everything has to be white.
Yeah. Unless your name's Nick Kyrgios, and then you can just do whatever you want.
Or Serena Williams.
Yeah. Do we think at some point in time will the All England Club bend on?
No,
never.
I mean, maybe in like 100 years, but not in my lifetime.
No, I don't think they will.
Same thing as like they'll never start on Sunday, like the other slams.
Yeah, no chance they'll start on Sunday.
Never happening.
I was more surprised that they decided to take out line judges.
Yeah,
I was shocked that they did that.
Hot take. I actually think Wimbledon will go back to line judges next year.
I am actually fine with inserting the human error that line judges bring. I think that's an interesting part of. I think that's part of the game that we can either accept or not, but like it's not inherently a bad thing to have some human error be part of the sport.
Breakpoint, Fritz.
I think I disagree with that take.
Yeah.
I think like if we're gonna see error, I mean, we see enough errors in the game just from the decisions and shots that players make. Like when they make shots, I want to have a lot of confidence in the fact that it's either in or out, and we're not relying on someone's eyesight.
Saved by Fonseca.
Nice serve.
Serve to the body.
It's another variable for players to adjust to. I watched that famous clip of McEnroe the other day, the "you cannot be serious" clip. And it's funny because I'd never actually seen the shot that led to that moment.
Yeah.
Right, it was in. It was so clearly in.
Yeah,
and it wasn't close either.
That was a absolutely terrible call.
Like, it was. And so like I watched that moment. I was like, oh my God, like I think this kind of vindicates him in my mind because very, very nice play from Fonseca there. But yeah, like we would not have had this iconic tennis moment if Shot Spot had existed.
Is that what you call it? Shot Spot?
What's the actual name of it? Hawkeye?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're American. We're trying to insert gun stuff into everything.
That's a good hold from Fonseca, saving breakpoint.
Shots fired.
For real.
Guns blazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite like the whole. I'm fine with there being just Hawkeye at. I know what I was gonna say. I was at Queens day 1 last week, and I was sat next to these guys that like were tennis fans, but like they weren't like tennis fans, right? Because I had to tell them who Jakub Mensik was. So, and then they started talking about like, when a player hits a serve and then it's like they like the serve's out, but then they neutralize it and then it's called out again because it like hits another part of the court, and it's like called out twice. They were like, "Oh, see, that's so annoying. Why does that happen? Like, if it was human error, like that wouldn't be happening if it was actual line judges." The words were it's so woke that we have Hawkeye instead of line judges.
It's so woke. That's a crazy take.
I was like,
these British guys?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like them.
Okay.
I didn't like them. They weren't very nice guys, to be honest.
How woke of you, Fergus?
Yeah, clearly. Yeah, I didn't like these guys, but they were just like saying how it's so woke that we have Hawkeye and not line judges.
I don't even know what that means.
To be honest, I think just changing and stuff. They just kind of want. I don't know. I don't think it's that. Does it matter that much? Like, guys, come on.
I think this is a thing that's happening in the world today, where like words had a meaning, and then somebody starts to kind of twist them, and then it reaches a point like the word woke. Like, what does it mean at this point? It can mean whatever. It's just like a generally negative thing if you want it to be. Yeah. Like, like I had a woke.
Yeah, woke now does have a negative connotation. 100%. Yeah.
Fritz,
anyway,
serving 15 love. I've been trying to come up with a combination of a Fritz and Fitzcarraldo joke since the moment I knew I was going to be on this stream. Fergus, you might be a little young for that movie. Are you familiar with Fitzcarraldo?
No.
Werner Herzog, Klaus Kinski, they literally push a steamboat over a mountain, and like this is a different time where you could treat extras like a little bit worse, and so they actually made the extras in the making of this movie push a steamboat over a mountain. It's crazy.
Wow.
And right now, beating Fritz, it's like pushing a steamboat over a mountain, and that's why more and more people are calling him Fitzcarraldo.
That was a great serve out wide.
That was a great serve out wide, and that was a pretty mediocre story from Zach.
I'm working on it. It's the Fitzcarraldo reference will hit eventually. It just hasn't yet, as Fritz is serving at 40.
It needs to be trimmed down, I think.
It does.
It's a little long.
Yeah.
It's okay though. We'll give you
get
gold star for effort.
I mean, honestly, this is a warm up tournament for them. This is a warm up tournament for us. Like we're all just like working on the material for Wimbledon here. Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, this is just those like comedy shows like all the comedians go to. There's like 25 of them, and they're just testing out the new material.
I mean, realistically, in Zach's eyes, what's the point in playing Wimbledon when you're not going to win? You know, let's just get Alcaraz Sinner final, and everyone else just go home.
All right. If I could get the choice between I get one match and it's 5 sets of Alcaraz Sinner, or everything else, but the two of them don't play, I'm probably taking Alcaraz Sinner.
No, you're not. What?
I definitely am.
Oh.
It's that. I mean, did you not watch the French Open?
Yes, of course I watched.
You watched the French Open, like what? Like that was like the tennis equivalent of like whatever the coolest eclipse is.
I would.
Stars aligned, Fergus.
I would 100%. So, are you saying you'd rather take the entire tournament, including the final? Wait, you're saying you just take Sinner Alcaraz that final over the whole tournament plus the final?
In this ridiculous hypothetical that we've just made up, the choices are one match, Alcaraz Sinner, or normal tournament, and they don't play each other.
Oh, they don't play the final?
Yeah. I'm taking the two of them for the final. Like in this scenario, probably we're getting like a Bublik Draper final, and I definitely would rather have Alcaraz Sinner.
The chances we get a Bublik Draper final, I'm saying maybe 0.5%. Like I'm pushing maybe 0.5%.
We're just cruising along, by the way, in this set.
This second set, literally pretty much like it's, as I said, it's pretty bog standard. You know?
Yeah, this
seagulls galore though.
Grass court tennis in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna have to come up with something pretty special to like beat that final in the next year or so. Even if we do get another Sinner Alcaraz final, I think if we get a Sinner Alcaraz final at Wimbledon, it will be maybe 4 sets Alcaraz. Like I just feel as though on grass he just holds more cards.
If we're picking a major final to see them in, I would. Wimbledon is the surface I'm probably the least excited about for them to play on. I'd like the longer points of clay and hard courts, and I think there will be magic anytime those guys meet. But on the faster surface of grass, I don't know that they'll be able to replicate the same level entertainment-wise they did on clay.
I would rather watch an Alcaraz Djokovic final on the grass than I would rather watch an Alcaraz Sinner final on the grass.
That's a good. I agree. Carson, are we unanimous?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Break point for Fritz. Here we go. We're saying everyone's cruising along. It was 30-love Fonseca in this game, and now it's 40-30. Second serve as well for Fritz to look at.
First serve in the net.
That's tough.
Little extended rally here. Fritz doing a good job working the backhand on Fonseca. Fonseca with a cheeky attempt. Oh, a little dive there from Fritz. Okay.
Fritz, nearly so close. So close.
And Fritz seemingly utters an inutterable word there in frustration at that.
Yeah, I mean, feel free if you want to say that one, but that one's not. That one's.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that on this channel.
No, I don't think you are. But we are back to juice. The dive wasn't quite enough. Fonseca then aces up the tee to give himself game point. 138 MPH.
Wow. Big serve from the youngster. Hey, what do we think of Fonseca's fitness level? Do we think that he's got he's a young guy, so he's had less time in the gym with weights and all the stuff that some of the folks that have been on the tour a little bit longer have? Do we think that he is at the level he needs to be at fitness wise to take that next step?
No.
He's also he took a little bit of a break in the spring. There was a 3-week period that he took off after Miami, but I mean, other than that, he's basically been playing tennis since last spring. Because throughout the late fall and winter, he was playing challengers and the next gen finals. and then went right down to Australia. So he didn't really have an off season at all.
Yeah.
So it will be good for him this year to get some semblance of an off season, a really short off season as it is in tennis. But he needs to take advantage of that time.
Do you think he needs to add stamina, strength, speed? Like what? Like where's
all of the above?
Yeah,
all of the above.
Yeah,
like
I think it's everything.
Yeah, I think he's still 18. He's still developing. Like he will naturally gain all those elements.
Yeah.
It's just that we're just waiting for it to come into view. Right.
Yeah.
I still think that his season has peaked at in Argentina when he won his 250 title. I don't think he'll match that sort of success. Even, I'm curious to know your opinion, Zach. Where does a 250 title equivalent to in Masters / Grand Slam? Like, what is the equivalent in a Grand Slam of winning a 250?
Like is it the equivalent of reaching like the quarters? Maybe it's somewhere in that round of 16 quarters range. Like that to me is like a comparable achievement.
That's fair.
I think a lot of it though is field dependent, right? Like the Winston-Salem Open, it is the tournament immediately before the U.S. Open. Most of the top players skip it. You get like a couple of top 32 guys, right? Yeah. And so like Seb Baez was the best player there last year. And so a win at that 250, hey, it's look, you win a tournament, It's a big deal. It's professional tennis. As Fritz is up 30 love here. But you look at some of these other tournaments, particularly like some of these other 250s where they have, multiple top 20 guys. Like it varies a little bit, So to me, it's either round of 16 or quarterfinal. I'm curious if that seems right to y'all, or if that is,
I think round of 16 is fair.
Yeah.
If you look at the other 16 guys in the draw, or even the guys you've beaten the last 3 rounds to make the round 4,
yeah,
I think that's fair. But yeah, like I don't see Fonseca making round 4 of a slam this year. So
tennis is funny though. Like, I mean, you think about like Kyrgios's run in Wimbledon a couple of years back, and like you look at who he beat, and like you can always get a draw like that. Doesn't happen very often, but I'm more confident, or I have more belief than you, Fergus, that Fonseca might make a 4th round because of the draw variability.
No, I just don't.
Also, he has performed well at the U.S. Open as a junior, so he knows those courts. Like it's not going to be a completely foreign experience to him. So I think that tournament could be one.
Yeah,
if he's going to, that's where it would happen.
Yeah, but then, like, what are the odds that he pulls, like, even if he pulls, like, Tommy Paul first round, like, the chances that Fonseca beats Paul in 5, maybe looking at, like, 30%.
Ooh.
That might be high, honestly.
Just as, like, an example.
It's just raw dependent.
Yeah.
Because he can also beat Andrei Rublev in Australia
Straight.
easily. Like it.
Yes. Whoa.
Really good serve.
Sprayed it there.
Yeah, absolutely sprayed it. Looks like this could be a breaker.
And anything famously can happen at that point.
Yeah.
And, I think that the thinking fan would observe we're probably cruising to a 3rd set here.
I mean, okay.
Big serve there from Fonseca up the middle. As we are just kind of chugging along here, hey, which of the sponsors do you think did the best job with whatever their logo? Ooh, another big serve from Fonseca there.
In what sense? Is in clothing wise, or is in
just the whole tournament? I think the Crew Clothing Company, they did good. It's subtle, it works.
We're shouting out the Crew Clothing Company, hoping they give us a sponsor.
Yeah. Shameless fishing attempt to get
zero shame.
None.
Oh, fake dropper.
That was a pretty spicy
That was
forehand slice
dirty.
fake drop shot attempt.
Absolutely dirty.
That's the kind of shot that every coach in the world would discourage you, the listener, from attempting.
You said that yesterday. About
It's
the forehand
true.
slice. Are you not a fan of the forehand slice, especially on the grass? Surely the
See,
forehand slice is a...
I don't want to get into my own personal trauma too much here, Fergus. But
Oh, right.
I'm such a fan of the forehand slice.
Did you get dunked on with a forehand slice?
No,
like
I was such a fan of the forehand slice growing up that my coaches were like militant in talking me out of there's no shot that I love more as a junior than the fadeaway drop shot, inside out drop shot, right? And I hit quite a few forehand slices.
I can just imagine you hitting a fadeaway inside out drop shot. Like,
it's funny, man. Coaches would get the angriest when it worked because they knew that the next 10 times I missed it, I was like, well, I'm not sure if you saw that one, but pretty good. I also think, like, y'all touched on this a second ago. Fonseca is 18 years old, right? There's a little bit of that in him as Taylor Fritz ripping a goo here. What a great potential sponsor for really any number of things. Maybe this program. A great product I personally enjoy during matches.
just completely fishing right now.
Yeah. Chipotle.
I'm sure our producer. That is a hat. That is a hat.
Is it big enough? It looks a little small. That's the biggest hat I've ever seen. It's cold.
Actually,
it's
might be the biggest hat I've ever seen.
Isn't it gray and like vaguely rain adjacent there?
It's like the see at
I
the
think
derby.
It's actually quite gray today, but I think it was still like 20 degrees, like Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I know you guys are weird.
What is 20 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
Oh, I don't know.
Low 70s, mid 70s.
Okay, because it's I think 36 degrees Fahrenheit where I am today, and it is not gray. 97.
36 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sorry, Celsius. 36.
I was about to say 36 degrees Fahrenheit. You're absolutely freezing. It's the middle of summer.
Yeah, it is crazy hot. I'm gonna look this up.
It's been like insanely hot where I'm at. I think this last Saturday it got up to like 101.
It is indeed 37 degrees C where I am right now.
Nice backhand from Fonseca. Nerlan, I actually completely just blanked you, unfortunately. I asked you a question. And Pegula, run me through that. It's kind of a name that I wouldn't really think about as Wimbledon champion off the top of my head, but run me through your thought process. If you're still here, I apologize that I got distracted by Zach's presence.
And while Nerlan breaks down the Pegula pick, just want to point out that Fonseca is 3 points away from taking this as set 3. That is a factually correct statement.
I love these factually correct statements that you're doing, but
technically correct is the best kind of correct. Oh,
yeah.
Though with like sloppy misses like that, it's not going to happen. And Fonseca, this is where his youth shows, and also like still adjusting to the surface. Like he's learning, right? As each year he will hit fewer of the ball he just hit at 15 all.
I also would like to point out that Fritz is actually 9 points away from winning this match. We could do this all day.
Make that 8, I guess.
Make that 8 points away from winning this match. Yeah.
And a lot of people are now thinking, how many points away is Fonseca from set 3? The answer is now 4. And this is why tennis is the most perfect scoring system ever devised. You cannot run the clock out in tennis.
Never. You can never do it. Trust me, Nadal Djokovic tried that 2012 final. Also, we were talking about it earlier. Isner who also tried 11 hours 48. So
yep. Is that the most talked about round 1 match in the history of tennis? The Mahut Isner?
You'd have to think so, right?
Can we stop talking about it? Because like it wasn't actually good tennis. It just like it was an endurance feat. But like, if I was like, hey Fergus, like I don't know if you're free this weekend, but actually I'm gonna have some buddies like streaming the Mahut Isner match. Like, do you want to join us for that? Like it would be like, no. There's so many other things that any human being would rather do than watch that match back.
I'm not. I don't like watching serve bots. As in, like, I don't outwardly watch them, but I like watching serve bots against a top 10 player.
Oh, interesting. I wanted to have a bad time earlier today, so I watched some of the Opelka match, and he delivered. It is absolutely miserable to watch that man play.
Oh, Opelka Mansik,
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yesterday's Opelka Lufhagen.
Oh, I didn't catch that. How was it a good time?
It was 7-6, 3-6, 7-6. Opelka just doing nothing but crushing aces. That's about it. It's pretty bog standard. Yeah, Lufhagen didn't even get broken. Opelka did. So there you go. Nerland, I actually haven't made my watermelon debut for the summer, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to not too long from now.
I think
leans on the backhand, and it's huge.
As we're at 1-1, I'd like to, Carson, propose a challenge to you, which is that we use as much Gen Z and British slang as we can for the duration of this tiebreaker.
Please no.
What do you think, Carson?
What a woke idea.
Are you? Oh,
what a woke idea.
Are you gonna riz it up for the rest of this tiebreaker?
Oh no. I will leave the stream.
Yeah, not doing any of that.
Yeah, I will leave the stream.
Well, we would be in Barney if that happened. Did I use that right?
In what?
Barney. That means trouble, right? I thought that was British for trouble.
Did you just say again?
Barney means trouble in British, right?
I've never heard that before.
Okay, well, Don Cheadle said it in Ocean's 11 20 years ago, and I was told
Don Cheadle's Ocean's 11 accent is the worst English accent ever.
That is Brad Pitt in Snatch Erasure, but fair.
No. Don Cheadle, Ocean's 11's British accent is the worst ever. Full stop.
Over British Jones's Diary, Renee Zellweger?
I genuinely, no. Like, it's actually terrible.
Hey, fans in the chat,
I love Don
the UK, chime in. Is that correct? As Fritz has the mini break and Fonseca serving at 1-3. Ooh, 139 on that last serve, by the way. It was a miss, but big miss. 119.
Fritz does so well to neutralize that serve just down the line.
Yeah.
It's just too big from Fonseca. Just way too big.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Just so you guys know, I do need to leave at the end of this set. Regardless of what happens here. But John knows that already. But
if I'm correct, I think this match will be over after this set. I'm calling it right now.
It does appear more likely than not that Fritz is going to hold on to this mini break that he's already got and close it out here.
Although got a second serve to look at here.
Getting a nice rally here.
Indeed.
Ooh. Okay. My stream for a little bit ago, so I moved a bit of you again.
Well, here we are, all square. 3-3 at the changeover.
And I think that Taylor Fritz is absolutely gutted by that miss to lose the mini break that he had.
That is a little... But he's still... I always feel like it's better to still have the ball in hand now for Fritz, serving a 3-3. You know, has it on his racket to go poke his nose ahead again and focus on returning that Fonseca serve. Fonseca getting a lot of instruction there from his coach.
I got to tell you, as a player, I hated that. And I don't know if Fonseca finds it helpful, but like in these moments, like
I didn't know you were this big of a player.
Yeah, I mean, I preferred it more in majors than I did in the 250s. No, but I like in all seriousness, I think like as like a person in the world, how much information is an 18-year-old, even an elite athlete like Fonseca, able to receive in those moments? And I think I think that coaches are more often than not showing their own personal neuroses and not actually impacting the performance of the person who it's their job to help in those moments. Is my that's my harebrained take. Ooh, nice serve there from Fonseca.
1-3-9 ace down the tee.
Yeah. 3 points away from set number 3 here. 3 points away from calling it a day.
Yep.
A good point from Fonseca here.
Excellent point from Fonseca.
Could have done a bit more with that volley, but it got it done for him nonetheless.
Feels like Fritz might feel as though he could have done a little bit more with that, but
for sure.
Yeah. Well, 5-4. I'm gonna try not to look at the live ticker in case.
Ooh, we got
here.
Is producer John jumping in?
I don't think so. I think he's just accidentally just joining, which he does sometimes. Neutralizes the serve in the rally. Fonseca gotta feel like he's in it now. Oh, it's so good from Fritz. Really good counter punching.
Yeah.
5-all. Biggest point of the match so far. 5-all. Either match point or set point. And with Fritz with the balls, you kind of feel like match point is more likely.
They keep showing that giant hat behind Fritz now, and I cannot miss it.
I'm surprised Fonseca hasn't asked her to take it off. I mean, that's criminal. Like that's surely right in the eye line.
I mean, she's front row too. I've never seen a hat that size. I don't know where one could even get. Is that it's got to be custom made. Second serve, good return, Fonseca. Fonseca.
Oh yeah, it's so lovely. It's just so good from Fonseca, and it's a set point, not a match point.
Nice hands from the youngster as he looks to serve it and take his 3, which I think a lot of people called the obvious prediction earlier in the set.
I don't know if it was obvious, but it has turned out to be a very good pick. I'll give you that.
It's weird because I was so sure as I was saying it that it was going to be wrong because my batting average is sub 200 on all predictions here. And like I don't trust it when something like I assume he's going to lose this in heartbreaking fashion now in set 2.
Well, second set for Fritz to look at. Backhand to backhand battle. And Fritz does go long, and it's Fonseca who grabs the second set. Wow, that's a bit of a steal.
Wow.
That is. I think Fritz will be a little disappointed.
Absolutely.
How he played in that tiebreak and at the end of the set as well.
Yeah.
He felt like his level dropped a little bit.
Absolutely. Right. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Carson, if you're gone by the time I am back, pleasure as always. I'll see you very soon.
Always good, Carson. Fergus, see you in a moment. I will be here without adult supervision. Oh boy. Oh God.
Seems like it.
Okay.
Maybe John will kick you off. Who knows?
I wouldn't blame him. Hey, if you're in the chat.
See you later, Zach.
Later, Carson. It's just us. Let's get wacky. What questions, what takes, what ideas, what thoughts do you have? What would you like to see in round 3? What are your dreams? What's your mother's maiden name? What's your social security number? Like there are so many directions that we can go in this moment. But in an effort to engage in earnest with the content, Fritz is having an animated conversation, apparently with one of the lines folks. Don't have audio, so not sure what's going on. If you're in the chat and you're able to tell us what Fritz is saying, he appears to be somewhat irritable or frustrated. Would love to know the deal. It is the UK, so I assume that rain is always a possibility. I would be super bummed if they have to step off the court here, but it's looking like that might be what's happening. Fonseca's got a big old towel over his shoulder. It seems like they're they're putting stuff away. Fans, are they going for a beer or are they going to the exit? I don't know. I'd like to know. The producer is here. to listen in and give us the scoop. This is absolutely not a Talking Tennis exclusive, but you can exclusively hear it this way here on Talking Tennis. Oh, is it rain or are they calling it for light here? What a bummer. What a bummer. Oh, what a bummer. Fergus doesn't even know. Think if you're listening in with us right now, think how sad Fergus is going to be when he gets back. Here's a hardworking youngster at university doing his best. He's got this side hustle with us at Talking Tennis, talking about tennis, making time in his busy university schedule. And what does the Eastourne Open do? They have some type of weather-related thing. Yeah.
They called it?
I think that they appear to have at least called for a pause, but I think they're calling it. I don't know if it's rain or if it's light. It looks like we're wrapping up here.
Oh. Yeah, play. Oh.
I feel like Santa Claus is not real. That's what's just happened here today. Fergus, give us your reaction.
That's really quite frustrating.
It is. It is. This is the nightmare scenario of your Taylor Fritz. You lose,
absolutely.
Like,
terrible. No. Actually, this is the nightmare scenario for Fonseca.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Fonseca has all the momentum right now. He's just won that. He's just kind of burgled this second set. I'm telling you, Murray Tsitsipas 23. Sorry. Murray had just taken the third set, 2-1 Murray. On the night, if they had kept playing instead of having to call it a night and start playing tomorrow, Murray would have won. 100%. But instead, Tsitsipas wins in 5. I would say
the no lights thing. Can you explain this? Like, it's a professional tennis tournament, and they can't find a budget for lighting. I don't understand.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like, what's the rationale? Is it tradition?
I don't even think it's tradition. I just don't think they have lights. I just think it's like, yeah, okay, we'll call it there. Because they kind of like set out the whole day that they think that all play will end by the time they need lights.
Like, they have technology to get the lights in case, I don't know, let's just say the number 1 seed against an all-world, young player goes a little longer than they expected. Like, this is a choice. This is a choice would this be the Lawn Tennis Association?
Yeah,
LTA, choice by the Eastourne Open. Lighting has existed for years. Maybe,
just a few.
Yeah,
just
years.
A few.
At least several years. No one is disputing that lighting has existed for several years, and they couldn't figure this out. And you know what? We should all be angrier about it.
I think Zach is quite angry about it.
I don't understand. Like, this is a series of choices were made, and they have proven to be dumb. And they have degraded the product. They have negatively impacted the players. They have deprived the fans who paid for the tickets today of a final set. And everybody involved, I'm going to say it, should feel ashamed. It's outrageous. It's a choice. This is tennis, man. This is what drives me nuts about this sport.
This is tennis. I'm glad you cleared that up. I was worried that we weren't on the same
nuts
page.
About this sport, though. Like, can you imagine any other professional sporting event like, whoops, we forgot to get the lights. We didn't think we need them, so we'll just come back tomorrow. What other pro sport would allow that to happen?
I'm so waiting for our producer to clip this and make this into a meme. But I do agree. Yeah, it's pretty shocking that there isn't any lights. But I think it's something to do with, I don't know. I think there's some reason behind it, but I can't remember. Sean, nice of you to join us right when we're about to wrap up. This is Tennis would be a good channel name. Yeah, you're gonna have to talk to our producer about changing the name. I don't think that's gonna be anytime soon. But,
Power is a great last name, by the way, to name a podcast or something after yourself. Like Tennis Power, Power Tennis, Raw Power. There's any number of directions you can go with that. This is tennis. Maybe one day when I take my regional recreational tennis podcast to, further and wider that will rebrand as This Is Tennis. Nerlon did have a question for us, though, Fergus, that I'd love to get into before we get out of here. And then a second good one. Nerlon wants to know if we feel like Wimbledon is a little bit overrated. For Nerlon, the U.S. Open is the most exciting slam. Fergus, be objective. What do you think?
US Open's the worst slam.
Whoa! And why do you think that?
There's I think the crowds are the best at the US Open, right? But I feel like every other factor US Open is the worst slam. It's the least prestigious as well.
You think that the US Open
I love the US Open
in Australia? Right? Than Australia.
I kind of
I could so I don't agree, but I could see a reasonable case for being third. In what world is the Australian who's growing up I want to win an Australian Open one day? No one is saying that over
kids from Australia. Probably all the kids from Australia.
There's not that many of them. It's not like that many kids. There's not that many people that live in Australia. There's more in, let's just say, I don't know, France, the UK, and the United States. So there alone, you got fewer kids growing up wanting to do it. I think Wimbledon is appropriately rated, is what I would say, Nerlon, which is it is different enough, and there is enough history there that it almost transcends what's happening on the court. Players aren't just playing against the person on the other side of the net. They're playing against ghosts. They're playing against historical figures. They're playing on our memories of what those matches looked like. And, the whole tradition thing, it's not really for us in the States, but it is cool
Absolutely,
to engage, with another culture in that way for a little bit. And the strawberries and cream are sick.
I just feel as though for me, the US Open, I love the US Open, right? But it doesn't give me the same feeling as the other three. It gives me a fraction less, literally this much, but still a difference.
It's for me, the Australian is that way. The only thing that
it's the start of the season. It's just, everyone's I'm so excited for the Australian Open.
I love the Australian Open. I love an excuse to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I weirdly really do enjoy that.
Yeah.
But, the stakes don't carry the same weight in Australia as they do for me in the other three. And for me, I think honestly, in a post-Nadal world, the French Open is my number one. I love watching clay tennis. I love playing on clay personally. I think that clay is the ultimate tennis surface because there's just a bit more variability. With the bounces, and for me, grass is too fast. It sort of reduces tennis in a way that I don't enjoy. I like the long points. I like the endurance factor. I like the uncertainty around bounces that clay produces. I like the sliding. I like the ability to dive just a little bit more. And I love the French crowd when they're hostile. There's nothing to me that's more entertaining than the French crowd going after somebody in Paris. And then for me, U.S. Open number 2, Wimbledon number 3, and Australian Open probably 3B, I would say. So comparable with Wimbledon.
I obviously have bias. For me, Wimbledon is 1. Then Roland Garros is 2. AO 3, and then US Open 4. But I do feel as though it's just cause I feel like the US Open is only at the bottom. I love the US Open, but the only reason the US Open's at the bottom is because I know when it's over, it's the Grand Slam season is over. That's
true.
That's it's killer. I know the season now doesn't hold as many good moments as it has just gone by, right?
It's a sad day.
Yeah.
It's oh man, it's supposed
I see
older.
Sinner
Yeah.
lifting that trophy for the 17th time in a row, and I'm like, well, now Grand Slam season's over. Now I have to go watch indoor tennis, I guess.
Yes. I've said this on previous episodes. I'm going to say it again. the Australian Open is at least a month and a half too early. They need to push it back. They need to do that to create the longer off season. It's doable. Yeah. And
I think, to be honest, I actually wouldn't mind
keeping
it where it is, and we just cut out the indoor season.
I completely agree. I think indoor tennis sucks. I think it is the lowest form of tennis.
I think it would be great if we had like, I think it'd be great if we had like, our ATP and WTA finals in like early October.
Yeah.
And then called the season there, and then we start in Jan. That's nearly 3 months off, right?
I'd be fine with that. I think anything that gets the players a bit more of a break in the off season, I would support. And we're seeing this right now in basketball in the States. You've got these unbelievable athletes, and their season is too long. They're playing too many games, and great players are having serious, debilitating injuries, Achilles tears, ACL tears, abdomen tears, all this stuff that are in some cases injuries of attrition or injuries that go up in likelihood as people engage in overuse. And so many of these tennis players are being overused or overusing their body right now because they don't have enough long enough off season. We have been lucky to have the absolute tip top guys stay as healthy as they have been for the past 2 decades, and I hope it continues. But we shouldn't hope to keep getting lucky. We should do more to take care of these players because that's good for them. It's good for the fans. It's good for the game. And we don't do it. We have one other Nurlon question. Let's talk a little bit about Mira Andreeva. Fergus, what do we think?
Yeah, form isn't there coming into Wimbledon. It's not looking great. It's kind of been start of the season. She was obviously outstanding. Won her first Masters, and ever since, she won Indian Wells as well. I mean, that was just crazy. She was so good. Obviously beating Iga, in Iga's backyard, apart from Roland Garros, right? It's like her second backyard, apart from Stuttgart maybe, but she was incredible. And then, clay kind of came around, and everyone was kind of thinking she's had her previous best results on clay. This is where she kind of makes even more headway than she already did, and now we're kind of in a stalemate. And who knows? I always feel like form coming into a Grand Slam is completely different. It's a completely different setup, mindset, everything. Just as a sort of a push forward. I mean, Sinner obviously lost second round of Halle, and I've no doubt Sinner will make at least the semis, at the very least the semis.
I mean, he kind of talked about it. He was like, "Look, I got 2 matches in on grass. I need a little rest.
Yeah,
I feel okay." One match that plug is the wrong word. One match that I want to bring up that's happening tomorrow to watch is Navarro Pagula. It's nice to see 2 scrappy underdogs, who overcame so much adversity play each other. It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, that's me knocking them for being the kids of billionaires, because I think it sucks that 2 of the top American women are the kids of billionaires, because it's everything I don't want to see in sport. I want it to be a meritocracy, and that just punctures the argument. There's 1,000 billionaires.
I think it more than punctures it. I think you left a sizable hole about this big in your
eye. You're right. And I mean, I think nobody reinforces that as much as Draper, that sports is less of a meritocracy today than it's been at any previous point in our lifetime. Fonseca, to some extent, I would say, shows that. And that's one of the many reasons that I love Carlos Alcaraz, because he didn't have a billionaire dad or the Lawn Tennis Association parent or whatever. He played his way into it.
I think that Alcaraz is the healthiest figure in tennis by a long, long way.
Yeah,
for me.
Agreed.
He's done so much for the sport. He's brought the excitement back into he's got the creativity, the just doing kind of just messing around in a sense on a tennis court, and yet he still plays this outstanding stuff. And the way he interacts with the crowd brings in so many more fans than Sinner ever will.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yes.
Sinner it's so good to have Sinner playing, because it's like it is like, obviously the comparison of fire and ice has been made like so many times, but it quite literally is that. Sinner is robot from the back of the court, never misses, so good to watch because he's just insane. Alcaraz, creativity, spark, challenges Sinner all day long, and it's just, when those two meet, it's why the sport is gaining so much traction now. Especially, I've heard so many people talk about that Roland Garros final that have never even mentioned tennis before, because they know how good it was.
It forced them to care. It forced them to put their phones down and say, like, whoa, that's what tennis looks like now? This is incredible.
Exactly.
And Sean Power points out that tennis is an upper middle class sport in England. And you know what? The upper middle class has a lot more in common with the working class than they do in common with the billionaires, which the parents of Navarro and Pegula are. And so, like, the difference is much, much smaller there. And I think, like, in the States, tennis really ranges an economic spectrum, all the way from working class on up. I think it does.
Well, you talk about the Williams sisters. And,
yeah.
There's all you need to know, right? How good were they for the sport?
You
know, and there's that film King Richard, which is actually a really good film. I'd highly recommend it if anyone wants to watch it. It talks about Richard Williams' journey to make his two kids tennis players, and their entire journey. And obviously now they had, like, as sisters, the best success you could have, right? As in, like. And also they won, doubles gold at the Olympics. I mean, like, what else do you want, right? So
Jimmy Connors, the player to date, has still won the most ATP tournaments of any player.
What is it, 106?
Something like that. Djokovic maybe could catch it. At this point, I wouldn't bet on it because I just don't think he's chasing that record.
Yeah, I don't.
But Jimmy Connors is still playing on public courts, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, look, it's unfair to pick on you don't pick your parents, right? You don't pick your family, and so it's not Navarro and Pegula's fault. But
it's not like we're attacking them for, like, their upbringing, but like.
But I do think the sport can do more to be accessible to working class players and talents, upper middle class too. Like, it shouldn't be as much of an advantage as it is to be the kid of a billionaire. And obviously, that all kinds of advantages, but we can do more to create additional opportunities and grow the game further.
And until we break that barrier of feeling as though tennis is only a sport for this certain, I'm trying to figure out where my camera is, sorry, this certain amount of people, like, we won't get anywhere in terms of popularity. We won't, and popularity and, the amount of people that play tennis. We can't have it that people that are, working class, they go to a tennis court and they can't play because they don't have a membership, or they don't have, because how are we supposed to grow as a sport, change with the times? There's, like, we have to change as a sport to become more accessible. Otherwise, we simply won't be able to, produce the, the figures or the not just the streaming views, but, fans going to the stadiums, like, and watching. Like, I hate it when I see a round one match of a 500 or a 250 and the stadium isn't even half full. Like,
it makes me want to scream. I'm with you 1,000%.
It's terrible. Yeah. I'm like, go watch tennis. Like,
but it's also like, hey, if you run that tournament, and it is your job to put on a successful event, you have failed when there's a half-empty stadium, right?
It was. I think it was a round one. There was a challenger in Italy a couple weeks ago. It was a round one match, and the stadium was completely full, and that's because of Sinner, right?
Yeah.
Sinner in Italy has brought so many Italian tennis fans, and that's like what you want, right? That's exactly what you want. Like, even in challenger, like, it doesn't matter. Round one challenger, you still want to see as many people supporting that, because it's what the players do,
right?
Like, Draper is someone that talks about it all the time, and actually Evans was talking about it earlier when he won. He said he comes out and plays because the fans want him to come out and play. He wants to see the fans out there and play for them, because, like, he plays for himself, but he's 35. Like, he's very near the end of his career, and he just wants to be out there with the fans in the moment, just, experiencing that time on court with what he has left. And, that's what I feel is, what's needed for the sport. We need more people to turn up to those matches that, you know, aren't televised as such, or aren't given as much attention to.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I think there's this like defeatist attitude, and then probably we should get out of here after a few more minutes. But
we should.
You know, like it's just a challenger, right? I've talked about this with friends, and I've talked about some of my podcasts about attendance and how it should be higher, and how in any other sport, if you had top 200 people in the world of that sport participating, you'd have a full house. So, it's just a challenger. It's just a challenger. Well, hey, what about what's the level below the Premier League in the UK?
Sorry?
In soccer or football in the UK, what's the level below the Premier League? Is it
the championship?
Championship. I mean, what kind of numbers the championship, which is not top 200 players in the UK?
They sell out stadiums every single week.
Yeah. What about League One?
Sell out stadiums every single week. Like
what about League Two?
Yeah. Again,
why can't tennis figure it out?
Yeah.
If it is your job to put butts in seats, you suck at your job, and you should look in the mirror and you should feel bad about yourself. And I think that we as tennis fans should hold them more accountable, and we should be loud, and we should be angry, and we should raise a little bit of hell about it, because these players are putting it on the line, and they're not making that much money, especially at those challenger levels. You know, Dan Evans, look, he's not doing it to get rich, right?
No.
He would make more as a coach. Go take a rich guy out.
He did his time at the top, right? Yep. And now he's playing just because he loves the game, right?
Yep.
Just because he loves the game.
It's a great sport, and there's always room for improvement, and we shouldn't be shy in saying that not only do we want it, we expect it, and we demand it.
Yeah.
Or else.
We need to get out of here because we've been talking about this way too long.
Yep. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in, folks.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Later.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't give you a full match.
I guess they got this instead of a third set. Probably people would have rather the third set, but this is what you get. So blame the people who didn't put the lights in that could have done it, not us.
Exactly. Zach, thank you so much. As always, pleasure. And we will see you all very, very soon.
Later. Thanks, bye, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.